Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our pitiful little one show night of Fandom Access.
I know there's nothing on TV, right? There's like
I
nothing
tell you,
to watch.
like there's stuff I'm watching, but it's nothing we cover. Like Gen V just came back, so I've been watching. I watched the first 3 episodes of that already. It's funny with Artie being gone, I can watch so much TV so much quicker.
Yeah.
Because we watched Gen V together, so I had to coordinate with him. We watched Star Trek together, so every week it was like, dude, it's Monday. I do Star Trek on the podcast. Like, we need to watch this. But since he's been in college, I'm just watching it Thursday nights. Not that it's on now. Anyway.
You used to have to wait for a teenager to come home for you to watch.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Yeah. Not easy. Now you're on your own, and we're in that lull where the summer shows have ended and the fall shows haven't started yet.
Yeah.
So it's just you and me
actually, tonight. Something really fun. Tonight, Damon and I just started watching Firefly.
Oh, for the first time, yeah.
Yeah, and this will be my fourth rewatch, and but it was so funny. We're watching it, and I keep looking at him, and he's like, "Why do you keep looking at me?" I'm like, "You don't recognize that guy?" He's like, "No, who is he?" I'm like, "I'll give you a couple more minutes," and then finally, I was like, "Dude, it's Harry." He's like, "Harry who?" I'm like, "Harry from Resident Alien." He's like, "He's so young." And then I was like, and then Fillion, I was like, and that's Guy Gardner. He goes, "From the new Superman movie?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Does he always play a jerk?"
Oh boy, making you feel old, huh?
It's funny. When I rewatch stuff, I keep forgetting that came out in the early aughts. You know what I mean? It was like 2002, 2003 when Firefly first came out.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I watched, since the only thing on this week was Invasion that we cover. I watched Adolescence this week, which was brutal. Adolescence is a 4-episode show on Netflix. It's about a family that the 13-year-old son is accused of murdering a classmate.
Oh, right. I heard about that. How was that?
It's brutal. You have a 13-year-old son at home, right? I think maybe
almost. He's gonna be 12 in a couple of weeks.
Maybe you don't want to watch it. I think. It's the show that the young man who plays I think he was 14 when he shot it. Plays a 13-year-old. He won the Emmy for best actor, best supporting actor, youngest ever. And when he gave his acceptance speech, he said, 3 years ago he's 15 now. He goes, 3 years ago I was nobody. When he was 12. I was nobody. Anyway, it's very, very good and really brutal. And I think maybe you should not watch it because anybody who has an adolescent boy at home maybe doesn't want, or maybe does, because it's a cautionary tale a little bit. Anyway, I watched that, a couple other things, but it was nice to have a couple of the shows that we like on. And I guess with Jamie's not here, before we jump into this, don't forget to like and subscribe our channel if you're watching us on YouTube or wherever, right? Tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. is the watch party on Discord for Alien Earth. The season finale aired tonight. It just dropped tonight at like 8 o'clock, but there's a watch party tomorrow at 9:30, and Scarlett and Jamie and I will break it down at 11 is our show. And then I can't remember if Jamie does Wednesday on Thursdays or they talk about Wednesday on Monday. I think they talk about Wednesday on Mondays now. Anyway, check the Discord channel for the schedule.
I was going to say, sign up for the Discord because it's the only way you're going to keep track of everything. I get Discord notifications all the time, and I'm just like, it's Jamie.
I know. I like the shows that I do, which is Alien Earth, and then on Sunday we break down Daryl Dixon. So those are the only ones I know about. And Invasion. So let's jump into it, huh?
Without further ado.
This was episode 5, and the title of this episode is Point of No Return. So this is I'm interested to hear what you thought about this episode, AJ. It's the episode that finally, I think, brings our 4 character arcs that we've seen since season 1. They're finally together. The 4 character. I mean, Casper's not there, but Jamila's there, right? But the 4 main character stories have finally come together. Finally. and a bunch of stuff happens.
Yeah, so I feel like was this episode? I don't ever check episode times because I know that Apple TV is one of those channels that kind of lets episodes. If it needs to be an hour, they let it be an hour. If it needs to be half an hour, they let it be. So I don't really check the episode times, but a lot happened, and it felt like I blinked and the episode was over because it was just constant go, go, go. Like so much was happening, and it was. I really, I enjoyed it so much, and they got me. They totally got me.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe, I was like, I don't completely trust the what the heck are they called?
Infinitas?
Infinitas. I was like, I don't Jamie is here. She's in the chat.
Jamie, hi. Drop the Discord in there, Jamie.
She did. I don't completely trust the Infinitas group, but I'm like, she's promising that they're going to get a plane home, and I was like, and then, they did do one good thing. What's his face is dead. Hollister?
Hollander.
I was close. I was like, ding dong, Hollander's dead.
I guess a little tiny.
But the fact that they were turning on, but they're so full of shit though. It turns out, and while I don't trust the government at all because they'll just experiment and torture people just because they can. Infinitas isn't much better. So but at the end of the episode, I was like, there are no good guys. Maybe our people are the only good guys, and everybody else is just, terrible. I don't understand the point of Infinitas. I don't even understand why Infinitas took out everybody because, at least they're trying. It might be a suicide mission, but at least the government is trying to go in and do something. They're probably going to fail because they're overconfident, but they're trying something. It's not like they're hiding something. Like Infinitas is so conspiratorial that I don't know. They think they know better. They think they have a way to. I don't know. Maybe if everybody just worked together, but then it wouldn't be much of a TV show if everybody worked together.
Yeah. So, I agree with pretty much all of that. I think. I agree with you, and we'll talk about it some more. Infinitas's goals are a little murky to me now because they seem to be have good intentions. Similar to there's a point where Auntie. Is this the auntie says like, oh, the movement was helping people get what they needed during the invasion. We're helping people get what they need now, which is, she doesn't say information, but basically that's what she means. Like the truth. She says, we're helping people get the truth. Right. But yeah, their goal now is not clear that they came in and slaughtered like this. Like Hollander might be a jerk, but you're right. His strike force was trying to do something. It's not clear what Infinitas' plan is to me. I want to talk some more about the death of Hollander, which I really appreciated happening.
I appreciated it, but it really surprised me at the same time because it's almost like it. I'm sorry, Jamie. What the hell, Arzt? First of all, it's ARZT.
Arzt.
And second of all, why are you saying, "Hey, it's Arzt"? Anyway, I almost feel like it's just a changing of the guards. Like it's going to turn out that Infinitas is actually worse than Hollander, or they're just the new bad instead of Hollander. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. We had the early part of the episode. We have the storyline where our gang has like accidentally got along for the ride, right? Like Jamila and Anisha and Clark have like that's not actually it doesn't open with that. It opens with Tremonte's storyline, but whatever. Let's take the B storyline. Anisha, Clark, and Jamila, like they've been in this they at the end of last episode they get into the ambulance and now they wind up in I think they're in Washington State, right? with Verna. It turns out Verna is Infinitas, and she and her gang are like, oh, she did seem a little sketchy, right? It's very early in the episode where Anisha's a little bit, all she ever says is, my kids, I've got to get to my kids, right? Which, I mean, I guess I get it. She's a mom, and the aliens are like sending creepy tentacles out of the portals, and she wants to get to her kids. I get that. But when Verna says, oh, trust me, just go with me. We're going to an airfield and I'll make sure you get on a plane and you can fly home. And it sounds just a little too easy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a little, I thought that's a little, I don't know if I'm like, is that too easy because Verna's a liar, or too easy because this is maybe, I've seen too many shows like this, or this is not the most like nuanced bit of writing in this scene. I don't know. So I don't know. It seemed a little easy to me. And then while they're there, isn't this when do I have a picture of Jamila? I don't think I have a picture of Jamila, but Jamila's like lurking around. This is not this is from last week's episode. Jamila's like lurking around, and she hears Verna talking on her radio, right? And Jamila is like, wait a minute, Travante's walking into a disaster, right?
Yeah. She's I almost feel like it was a ploy, like they knew she was there, like it was a setup.
Yeah. It's the scout, like Indigo to Marigold. Indigo is the scout, and she's deep in the dead zone. And she talks about all the action happening there. And I think you're right. Jamila was like really, she wasn't very well concealed. She was lurking just behind the door. And Verna's like, no, come in. This affects you, right? She doesn't like, it does all seem pretty easy now that we talk about it, right? I mean, Travante's been talking about like new aliens since like the very minute that he showed up. And people are not like, I don't know. There's not really a lot of information. Like, I don't know if their scouts have more information that's being withheld. I don't know. It's all kind of weird that they have these scouts deep in the dead zone. Like, what if it? Like, I don't really. I'm speaking out loud now, trying to parse out.
That's okay. We do that all the time.
I mean, thinking like, what is Infinitas' mission? Like, why do they have these scouts in the dead zone? And they're trying to get to the truth. And like, okay, there's a new alien threat, but it's really only emerged ever since Travante, like the day Travante came back is when it started happening. It's only been like, how long is Travante back? Like a couple weeks tops, right? And it seems like these scouts have been in the dead zone for like a really long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Got any ideas about what's up with that?
No, no idea.
I have not got any pictures about any thoughts about what's up with that. There we are. Where's my picture? Here we are. So everybody like it heads off to this like airfield. So meanwhile, back in Travante's world, I had some issues with let me get where's a nice picture of Travante? Where are you, Travante? He finally has met up. He and Mitsuki are along on this mission that they're compelled to go on. And one thing I didn't really like about last episode and this episode, I might have mentioned it last week, what's with all the hate against Travante? Like, why do all these soldiers like hate Travante and they're such jerks to him all the time?
Well, it's not all of them. It's a couple of them. Okay,
it's a couple of them. And we don't count Hollander because he's a jerk to everyone. Right? But they're pretty harsh.
I don't get it. I don't get it either. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Like, he's the greatest hero in the history of any military on the planet, right? He's humanity's greatest hero is how he was pitched at the beginning. And these soldiers a lot of them are kind of, they used to call you the Hurricane, but you got all your people killed and blah, blah, blah. And they're really like mean to him. First of all, they show no respect for his rank and experience. They show no respect for like that he was abducted by aliens for 2 years. And they're all on him for like getting his men killed in Afghanistan, right?
It's almost I almost feel like it's a little bit of jealousy. Because quite honestly, I mean, for in a way, Devontae's kind of been in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Like the first attack when he was the only survivor. I mean, that was just dumb luck that he was the only survivor. You know what I mean? It's not like he left anybody behind. It's not like he wasn't involved. It's not like he was hiding in a corner, cowering while the alien killed all his friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was right in the thick of it, fighting the alien. So that's just dumb luck that he was the last one standing when they took it down. Everything happened the way it happened. He goes in with Casper, and he doesn't even remember all of it happened.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened either because last thing we saw, they were good to go.
I mean, I guess like I just noticed that sometimes they're really ragging on him for like his guys, his whole team getting killed in Afghanistan or wherever he was, right? And I'm like, wow, like, so I'm not in the military. I've never been in the military, but I feel like that's a thing that has happened to a lot of people, right? In the last like however many 30 years we've been entangled there. And also, it was aliens. Like, how many people lost their entire unit to the aliens since they invaded, right? And then sometimes these guys are also like, Travante like freezes up because he's got all this really bad PTSD, and they're very mean to him about that also. And part of me thought like, okay, these are all special forces guys. Maybe they like mock weakness and like look down on him for weakness. But then sometimes I feel like, God, there's so much more awareness about PTSD in like the military nowadays, and there's like zero understanding or compassion for this guy who was literally on a spaceship for 2 years, right? Like, and like, like, you got Casper killed. And I'm like, what? He didn't get Casper killed. He wasn't even physically present with Casper. Casper was killed in his mind, right? If he's really dead, which is a whole second.
Yeah, which I don't buy for a second that Casper.
But like, he was not like Travante's there having this experience. Casper's only there like in a astral projection kind of a way.
I was just gonna say Casper's like astral projecting.
Yeah, and these guys are like, "Oh, you got him killed," and I just really, although Travante hate in this episode was really kind of bothering me. That, and then the one guy who is like, "Oh, it's an honor to serve with you." The other guy's like, "Oh, you're always sucking up to Travante, to blah blah blah," right? Yeah. I mean, I'd love to like maybe talk to some of these actors or the writers and be like, what is this like anti-Travante thing that's going on, right? He's also like him or not, he's like the one guy who could save the world right now. And they're like, "Oh, you're such an annoying, you're the asset. You're so annoying with to drag you around." And they hate Mitski too. Also, they like blame Mitski for getting. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself now because
Mitski's a little different, because she can talk to the aliens, kind of.
Yeah.
So I feel like I understand that aspect of it, which I kind of get. I mean, it was the same thing with Casper. It's the same reason that Anisha keeps Luke, keeps what Luke can do a secret, because when people, I mean, I get it to a point. People, the general populace is scared and especially when they don't understand, they look at people like Luke and Casper as the enemy because, oh, you could talk to the alien. What, why? What do you, what they promise you, why are you,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they really, I mean, these guys really resent, both Travante and Mitski. And I feel like the person they should resent is Hollander, who has designed a horrible mission that is obviously doomed to fail, right?
Well, the problem with that is some of these guys, the guys that are the jerks, they're all gung-ho. Yeah, we're the military. We're the best. And Hollander, feeds right into that. Come on, you're the best of the best. We're going to go kick some alien ass. Yeah, Hollander's great. He sees our true potential.
Yeah.
And we're going to make Travante look stupid. We're going to be the heroes. Yeah.
I guess. He's very horrible throughout this episode.
Let me put it this way. When I was in the Navy, I knew guys like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. Like, as I said earlier, I have no military experience. Those of you out there who do, and AJ, like, yeah, you know, guys like this. It just seemed to really be played up a lot. And I guess because I like Travante so much, I want to be like, leave him alone, you guys, right?
Well, yeah, because he, you know,
so
our guy.
Yeah. So Hollander, he's very cruel to Mitski, right? And he they have that conversation where she's like, was it worth it what you did to me? And he's like, yeah, for 2 years of peace, yeah, it was worth torturing you. Like, he's such a total jerk.
Yeah, and the best part is the 2 years of peace had nothing to do with torturing her.
No, tortured her after,
aliens,
right?
It was just the aliens, you know, taking their time, gearing up, getting ready.
Yeah, and yeah, like
putting the earth torture, into a lull.
The torture didn't yield any secrets that helped them achieve peace.
Not at all. He just got his rocks off.
Poor Mitski has a terrible episode because I don't think I have a picture of horrible Nikhil. They never dump any pictures of Nikhil, I guess, because they know that we all hate him. I don't know, but he has.
It's funny. I don't hate Nikhil. He's a jerk, and I don't like him, but I don't hate him.
Every time he remotely acts okay, then he follows it up with some horrible statement about his own inflated. He's got such an inflated ego, right? And
yes,
such an overinflated sense of self-worth. I don't even really know why they're bringing him along on this, because you know there's a point where. Go ahead.
Because he's he's the science guy, and him and you know, and also Hollander doesn't like him, so Hollander, I think it's a little bit of torture on him too by making him go.
There's a point in this episode where Hollander calls Travante a coward. If there's a coward in this group, it's certainly Nikhil, right?
Well, yeah, and that's fine that he's a coward. You know, I don't even know if I'd classify him as a coward because he's a scientist. He's not a soldier. Why, you know?
And I'm not like any person who wants to preserve their own life is not necessarily a coward. They just want to live, right? To call Travante a coward when he volunteered to put on that suit and go through the portal into the spaceship, it's just an outrage to call him that. And you know, there's a scene where the general comes in and he's like, Travante, you told me this the minute you woke up. I should have listened to you. And everyone is, but so it felt like as I was watching these last 2 or 3 episodes with Hollander in them, I really didn't like him because I felt he was like a cartoonish villain. We talked about this last week where I compared him to Clark Gregg in Snowpiercer.
Right.
Who was so horrible. We hated him so much, but it was beyond. It was so beyond.
It was beyond comprehension that he was just that oblivious.
Yeah.
And then what's worse is, I mean, not to belabor it, but then we got the most terrible death for him. That was so weak.
Oh yeah.
But anyway. Yeah. And Hollander's, at least Hollander's was good. It fit the story. It made sense. It went down. It was pretty cool. So
yeah, and I guess they were setting us up for a satisfying death. I was feeling like his character was just a little beyond, a little over the top of what he needed to be, and just so far out there as a gigantic jerk.
Well, that I mean, Hollander's your prototypical abuse of power person. He's got the president's ear. He's high up. I did not. You know, the funny thing is, I don't even understand what his job was. He's high up in the ranks. Like he knew somebody and got the job.
I guess I felt like beyond prototypical that he was really like a trope, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Dieter's in the chat. Hey, Dieter.
Hey, Dieter.
I felt like he was really tropey, and again, like he was going to start twirling that mustache, right? He was just so over the top. And I was like, I don't know if I can watch this guy for this whole season. And then he gets his throat slit at the airport.
I was shocked by that. I was so shocked by that.
I was too. Shocked and satisfied, but shocked, right?
Yeah, did not expect him to go out.
Yeah. No, I didn't expect him to go out this soon either. But I guess it was necessary to leave our characters like alone in the forest, right? With just there are some soldiers. There's this terrible scene where where Hollander basically orders 3 of the soldiers to sacrifice themselves. Right? They're trapped in they crash in the dead zone. Actually, so I'm getting ahead of myself actually, because the confrontation at the airport is there's a little more to delve into there, right?
Yeah.
It's a total setup. I wonder. So you say, like, were they setting Jamila up? That kind of makes sense to me, because how were they ever gonna like get to this? Like, I guess they Infinitas would not have known that they had this opportunity if Jamila hadn't blabbed that Travante was on a mission to the dead zone, right?
And that's the thing. I feel like bringing Jamila and Anisha and Clark, it puts them at ease a little bit, because because then Clark or Travante's like, no, they're my people, I know them.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of like, all right, well, cool. I think without them, it's very different. I think guns are drawn. Who the hell are you? We're not listening to you. Bang, bang, you're dead.
Yeah. But Travante by vouching for the 2 people, the 1 or 2 people that he knows, he ends up vouching for the group. It's a pretty ingenious setup in the end, right? That they managed to get Hollander alone in the room. But Travante's onto them. Travante sees the sniper on the roof. I mean, it's kind of funny that there's like a dozen special forces, but Travante's the only one who notices shooters on the roof.
And you know what's so funny? This happens so much in stuff like this, where there's times I'm like, how does nobody see them? And the best is if you ever watch behind the scenes of some of the stuff like this, because of the way it's shot, it looks like they're completely so far separated and whatnot. If you ever watch behind the scenes of something like this, they're like next to each other. In the grand scheme of things.
I mean, I was kind of wondering that maybe after the alien invasion, like maybe most of the army was killed, and we're just dealing with who they were able to recruit in the last 2 years.
Who was left?
Yeah. Maybe they're not the best of the best who are left.
I just felt like the guys on the roof weren't hidden as well as they could have been.
No, they were they were not hidden very well. Travante spots them right away, and he's like, "We got to get out of here. I'm taking over this chopper." He springs into action and makes a plan to save everybody. Everything goes sideways. Wonderful moment where Hollander gets his throat slit, and then there's a big shootout. And Travante, so there's that guy, is it Chen, who gets shot, and he's like, I can't.
Yeah, it was Chen.
Charge. Chen's like, I can't shoot with my arm shot. Take the gun. And Travante takes 2 deep breaths, and then he goes out there, and he's the only person in this whole operation who has really any good aim. He shoots everyone he aims at, shoots all these guys, and they're able to flee in the helicopter, but the bomb is destroyed. Right, it was a shard bomb.
Well, no, the bomb wasn't destroyed. It got left behind because when
the 2 guys carrying the bomb got blown up.
They shot the mini rocket launcher or whatever the hell they had, blew those 2 guys up, and the bomb got left behind.
Yeah,
I thought it was interesting though that they ended up with one of Infinitas's people when he tried to throw the grenade in the chopper.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we have one person with our team, because now maybe we, the audience, can get some information as to what their goals were, because they're going to question him, and especially Jamila. I think Jamila is going to be like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're going to get, the audience is going to get the information of what Infinitas's goal is, because I still don't understand what's their goal. How does stopping the military from going into the dead zone to try and stop the aliens, how does that benefit anyone? Let them go in there and get killed if you don't think they can do it. Then you don't have to worry about them.
Yeah. I mean, they say that they're after the truth, but they really have like tried. I mean, this is like they were trying to stop the WDC, Hollander and the company, from going in there and finding out what the aliens are up to. Yeah, why would you want to interfere with them? Why would you want to stop the? Presumably, everyone wants the aliens to vacate the planet, right?
Right.
Like, why would you stop the WDC? Like, what could they? I mean, they don't have a goal like Nikhil. So Nikhil's goal is to mine these ships and make as much money as he can. And I could see why he might not want the ships to be destroyed. I think Nikhil's totally cool with all the aliens being killed, right? He's learned what he can from them, and they've learned what they can from.
Well, yeah, Nikhil would love nothing more than to wipe out all the aliens
and take their tech and have their tech.
Yeah, and take their tech. Absolutely.
But like why? Yeah, like what Verna and Infinitas are after is kind of a mystery to me, to everyone. I think right now. I mean, there are some theories, I guess, but I mean, why would you? Also, these are not aliens that like. So we've all seen alien shows where the aliens come down, and some people are like, oh, these aliens might be good, and some people
that's not that's not a thought here.
Not just there's no way of thinking that the aliens are good. So I'm not really sure what that's all about, what the plan is, why they have scouts in there. That's kind of a big question mark right now. But Joel, I have a picture, but the nephew's name is Joel, and Joel is now, like it or not, he's along for the ride. I did think for a minute that Travante might just throw him out of the helicopter, and he would be killed.
I did too. Yeah, I did too. I thought he was going to just push him out.
Yeah, I thought he was going to just throw him right out.
But it actually makes more sense what he did, securing the grenade and throwing the grenade, because to try and secure the grenade and throw him out at the same time would probably have ended poorly.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe we'll get some information. Maybe he'll reveal like what his aunt is up to, what they're all up to there. I care a little bit more about Joel than I do about the soldier crew, because most of them have been jerks to Travante, and most of them are just kind of like nameless red shirty kind of guys, right? I was really surprised that the 3 who were ordered to like hang back and sacrifice themselves, 2 of them actually managed to live. That's surprising.
I'll say this about Joel. He kind of feels to me. First of all, I think you probably do too. You care more about him because he's actually a character and not a caricature like a lot of the army guys are.
Yeah.
But I also feel like while he's in Infinitas, I feel like he's in it because his aunt runs it.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Like, I feel like there's been numerous times where I feel like he hasn't been completely down with the situation or really knowing how to handle it. Like, when they were the WDC and he's trying to get the pills to her, it was like he wasn't crafty. Maybe that's why they chose him, because he is so unconsuming. He's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping with my vocabulary, because my brain wasn't working. I feel like he's in it, but he's not in it. You know what I mean? Like he's in it, but I don't think he's totally down with everything.
And yet he jumped into that helicopter with a live grenade and was going to die, right? Like he was
right. He was. Well, he tried to throw it in, and Travante grabbed him.
Oh yeah,
and pulled him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, he was. But if you watch that scene again, he hesitates. It's like, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? All right, screw it. I'm going to do it. It was definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all these motions and everything, and I'm realizing nobody can see me.
Oh yeah, we're not on screen right now. So I want to ask you about one line of dialogue. When Verna, this is last week's picture of Verna, when Verna slashes Hollander's throat and he falls to the ground, she leans over him and she says, may our Redeemer forgive you for your sins. And I thought, right? That's what she says. May our Redeemer forgive you for your sins. which is a pretty, I'm like, oh, she's a Christian lady. She's a Christian murdering lady. And I thought, oh, but so there are people, I have not checked the closed captioning on this episode, but some people say what she said was, may our redeemers forgive you for your sins.
You know, as you said that line, I didn't think about it when she said it on the show, but just now when you said it, I think I know what Infinitas is up to.
Yeah.
I think that they think the aliens are a good thing. And that would explain why they're trying to stop the military from going in and blowing them up.
Yeah. I mean, if she said redeemers, and I can go to the closed captioning, that's not always correct, but people are saying that she said, may our redeemers forgive you. Like, do you see the aliens as, like, do they see the aliens as some sort of redeemers, angels, gods, you know, some sort of, like, positive force?
That's so funny, because, like, I heard her say it, you know, in the episode, and I didn't think much of it. I just thought, you know, she's spouting some kind of religious.
Yeah.
But now hearing you say it, and emphasizing it, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm not as good as I used to be when I was younger.
Yeah.
Apparently, my old age, my brain doesn't work as quick.
I mean, either way, it's a weird thing to say, but, like, may our Redeemer forgive you for your sins. Like, she just murdered a guy. That's a commandment. You know, like,
it depends on your beliefs.
For Christians and Jews, thou shalt not kill is a thing, right? For most people, it's a thing. And she has just murdered a guy, and she says, like, may our redeemers forgive you for your sins. So does she have some kind of, like, some fanatical belief about them, which would be interesting, because we have not seen that on this show before. I mean, we've seen it on other alien shows, and so I don't love maybe going down that road, except I trust this show to go down it maybe.
I mean, the only people we've seen in any type of cahoot, I don't want to say cahoots, that's not the right word, but the only time people that have had any kind of connection with the aliens hasn't been good for the aliens. You know, Mitski, she's doing it to try and understand and stop the aliens. Same thing with Casper and Luke. And, you know, and there's a couple other kids that aren't really characters that we've seen that also are connected, but it was just kind of, you know, just to show us that it's more than just Luke and Casper.
Yeah. And we know that, like, Verna is going to be like a meaningful character, because she's played by Erica Alexander, who is is an actress that many people will recognize, and she's one of the bigger names on the show, right? So we know that we're going to see more of her, I think, right? Like, I mean, that you don't cast her and then not, like, make more use of her. She's the real character here. Not, I shouldn't say that Joel's not a real character, but she, I think, is the major character here. You know, she's I'm trying to so what she's been in has escaped me right now, and I was so excited that we were going to maybe talk to her, where there might be a chance for us to talk to her at some point, or to some other people on the show. And let me Google real quick. She's been in a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know if you recognized her, AJ, when you saw her on the screen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you know, she's from Living Single is the thing that she's most famous for. Was
oh my god, that's right. I totally forgot she was on. I loved it in Living Single, and I totally forgot she was on that.
Yeah, I mean, she started on the Cosby Show. She was on Living Single, and she won like a couple of like Image Awards for that. She was in Get Out, and
actually, I don't remember.
And she was in American Fiction. So she's pretty like well known. I'd say as well known a name as Shamir Anderson, maybe more so, right? Shamir is more familiar to us because of the types of shows that we watch. But Erica Alexander, she's also that person that's done like 2 episodes of every show you watch. Oh, Criminal Minds, oh, House, Grey's Anatomy, right? Like she's been like in everything. So I think that she's a character.
Hey, not everybody can. Hey, hold on. Not everybody's Roger Cross, all right?
Okay. Yeah. So I think that Verna is a character that we're going to see more of. I mean, we're going to see more of her because she's still alive. She wasn't killed.
Yeah.
And she's not going to let her nephew like just go off and be. And she's obviously the head. I mean, she is Infinitas. She's the head of the organization.
That's gonna be interesting because she's got people on the inside, so she's gonna radio them, and be like, "Hey, they got my nephew. Go get him." So it's gonna make things interesting.
Yeah, I think so. So they've kind of like, brought Joel along for better for worse, but I like your idea that they might be able to like bring him around. That could Javante and probably.
I don't know about bringing him. I mean, they could bring him around. I wasn't really so much saying that. Which is definitely a possibility. I just think Jamila is going to be like, "What the fuck is going on here? Like, what is your deal?" I think he's going to open up to Jamila because they've already seemed to kind of make a little bit of a connection.
Well, she did kind of give him a look, like when they dragged him onto the helicopter, and they had him, as they're flying away. She'd give him a look like, "What the hell? Like what? Right?" Yeah, I could see these two connecting, like just like Jamila being the one who can get through to him a little more.
I just thought of something.
Yeah.
I know how you said you don't bring her on. She's going to be around for a while because you don't bring an actor like her on the show and then kill her. I think you forget season 1.
Who was killed in season 1?
Oh God, who was it? Was it Sam Neill? Or no, it wasn't Sam Neill. It was the sheriff.
Oh, the sheriff. Yeah, the sheriff in season 1 was that was Sam Neill, right?
Was it Sam Neill? No, I can't remember.
Yeah. Sheriff Tyson was his name, and it was Sam Neill. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was Sam Neill. I couldn't remember for a minute.
He just did like this one little bit. Yeah.
Killed Sam Neill in the first couple episodes. So don't say you can't kill an actor of that caliber in the show.
Yeah, you can. But I feel like she's not done. There's more to be seen of her, right? So I like so far this season. I mean, look, Invasion is not without its problems, this show, right? But I like that the action is much more amped up in this season. Season 2 was lacking in the action department. We had many episodes of Mitski talking to a blob of light, right? Like that went on forever.
Yeah, season 2 I would compare to a game of chess. There was a lot of moving pieces, but not a lot of action.
Yeah, and characters like literally walking like across parts of Europe, and like driving cross country, and everyone trying to get different places, and there wasn't a lot of like good action happening.
Yeah, I think that the only action the major action we had was the stuff with the movement.
Yeah, that was the only real action, right? Mitski spends the entire season really in a lab, and
with her hand stuck in the blob.
Yeah, and pining for continuing to pine for her lost love, which I get it. Like it hadn't really in season 2, it hadn't been that long since Hinata was killed, still, right? And I guess when the alien is like messing with you, it's hard to get over someone when the alien is like making you think they might be alive. But the lab sequences in particular like took a lot of time of season 2. I really enjoyed Jamila and Monty and their posse like traveling to find Caspar. I liked that storyline. I liked the kids as a group, so that didn't bother me as much. I
gotta say, it's been 2 years and everybody's older now, but I kind of miss the kid group.
I do too. I miss Monty. I miss I can't remember the other 2 kids' names right now. Monty's little sister. They were like the Goonies of this show.
Oh yeah, I forgot. The Goonies. That's good.
I miss the Goonies. They were. I don't miss Luke. Luke was very I hope in this. it's interesting that Anisha has been like severed from her children, who so defined her character for the first 2 seasons, right? Not severed, but she's separated from them right now. And those kids defined her every move for the first 2 seasons.
Yes, I agree.
So,
Yeah, no, I gotta say, you know, I remember last season. I used to bitch about Luke all the time.
yeah. Yeah, well, you know, he was always like, stay in the car. No, let me go antagonize these soldiers instead. Oh,
yeah, no, Luke just, I don't know. He just wasn't the strongest character for me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I felt like, and yeah, he's a kid and everything, and his stupid decisions made sense because he's a stupid teenager, but I don't know. I remember getting mad at Luke all the time last season.
Yeah. He'll be back also, I think, because of his sensitivity to the aliens that he also.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, they're completely separated. I mean, they're going into the
dead zone.
The dead zone, and he's, you know, in the cul-de-sac. You know,
at Boise, yeah.
They're waiting. What Golden Child say?
They're waiting to show. Wait, I think he means long. They're waiting too long to show what exactly is happening with Casper. I cannot believe it's been 5 episodes.
You know, I agree with that Golden Child, but I would not be surprised if the season finale, the last couple of seconds of the episode, they do some kind of pan around the science lab or something, and they show Casper hooked up to an EKG or something.
Oh, because we all think he's not. I mean, we all agree that Casper's not dead, right? Like, we didn't see him die. Jamila kind of saw him die, but unless you see,
he saw him having a seizure during that moment when the EKG went off the charts.
Yeah.
And I get why she thinks he's dead, because, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, she saw what looked like him dying, and everyone told her he's dead, but I think he's probably alive, right? Unless we see him in the way that Mitsuki saw Hinata, that she wasn't really dead, but the alien is pretending to be her. But Mitsuki knew that was in her mind. She knew that was not physically happening, right?
Yeah, but Mitsuki knew it was in her mind, but didn't want to admit that it was in her mind. Like, she knew it, but was like, we're going to play this out anyway.
Yeah. And Billy Barrett's still listed in the credits for this show, right?
Is he?
Isn't he?
I feel like I haven't seen his name listed in the credits except for episode 1 when they showed the flashback. I've only seen his name in the credits when he's been in a flashback. So his name was in the credits this episode because Travante had that flash of him.
Flashback, and that's why
it's the only time I've seen him in the credits. Now I think it's smart marketing to do that.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, we were talking to Jamie the other day. She's watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she was disappointed that she knew Samuel L. Jackson was in an episode because they flashed his name up on the beginning credits of the episode. And a lot of TV shows are bad at that.
Yeah.
I like shows that hold back the name. You see them in the episode, and at the end, the closing credits, they say, and special guest star. Those are the smart shows.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see. Casper was really sidelined in season 2 also because, much of the season, the kids are looking for him, right?
You know what?
Yeah.
He's Invasion's Claire.
Invasion's Claire.
Invasion's Claire.
Claire.
Come on, Karen. Claire from Lost. Remember Karen?
Oh, Claire. I thought
remember Claire is dead.
Yeah, I thought you were going to Heroes, save the cheerleader, save the world.
No. Because in Lost, Claire was gone for an entire season, and then she came back. So I feel like that's kind of like what they're doing with Casper. We're not going to see Casper all this season, and he'll show back up in season 4.
Yeah, well, I'd like to. I mean, that's annoying. I get it.
Well, I'm okay with it because, I mean, in a way, how many times can Casper keep doing the same thing? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Let other stuff happen. Casper's on the sideline, and then season 4 he comes back, and
I guess how long is he? I wonder if he's in a coma or if they're experimenting and torturing the way they tortured Mitsuki. Although there are many child sensitives, right? He just seemed to be the most powerful or the most linked.
He's the most powerful.
Yeah.
And actually, and you know, I mean, in different ways too. Like Luke was, I feel like Luke was stronger in controlling them.
Yeah.
The problem with Luke, the thing was, Luke had a confidence problem, but when Luke got his confidence up, I feel like he was actually stronger in that.
I think he'd have more confidence if his mother didn't treat him like a little baby for every. I mean, she really.
She's the one that gave his confidence in the end, though. She was like, "Luke, you can do it."
In the end, but
and to be fair, Luke was a little shit most of the time, which is why Anisha. I mean, think about it. You know, after his dad died, he was saying, "Yeah."
Yes, but you know, in season 3 now, Luke, he doesn't tell his mother when he's aware that the alien, there's some, you know, he gets messages from the aliens, or he gets whatever he gets, feelings, premonitions. He doesn't like he feels like it's a bad thing and something he doesn't want his mother to know about, and he's a little right. He doesn't feel powerful in it yet.
Yeah.
Of course, he's a child. He's not a grown man like Travante's like, they're coming. Hear me now. Believe me later. The aliens are back, right? So anyway, I like your theory on Casper. I'd like to see him sooner, but you know, we're not. He's in a lab somewhere, probably. He's probably back in a coma somewhere. Or maybe not. Maybe he woke. I don't know. The fact, I mean, we could do a whole separate long conversation about the brainwave pattern that came out of his EKG. That
there we go. Golden Child's got it. If it would show up on the screen. Luke's got a girlfriend. Doesn't things change?
Yeah, I guess he's like what, like 15 years old now, 14.
He's got to be. He's 16 or 17.
Oh yeah, he's in a band.
He was like 14 2 years ago.
He's got a good life now, and he doesn't want to. Yeah.
So do you think they intentionally wrote the show with a 2-year time jump, knowing that it was going to take them 2 years to make this season?
I don't know. When I spoke to Simon Kinberg, he said he wanted to do a 2-year time jump because we saw all the characters like in the throes of the invasion and the fear, and he wanted to show what it would be like to have had a period of peace and then.
Fair enough. That's what he said. That's what we got.
Yeah, to see that, you know, what it was like when they had peace and now they had to like get back into it.
Did you ask him why it took 2 years?
I didn't ask
to
him
make
why.
a 10-episode show?
I asked him why a time jump. I didn't ask him why it took 2 years. I assume it takes like a month or more to do every alien activity, right? I mean, I didn't really show this picture, but this, right? This kind of stuff takes a long time. The aliens themselves take a long, right? Like every high
CGI. Why does it take so long? Come on, we should be just whipping this stuff out.
Just get some AI on it. Let AI do it. It'll be fine.
Don't start with that. Don't start with that crap.
I don't mean it.
I know you don't.
But this takes a long time to do this stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't. Or maybe they had to do 2 year time. Also, the kids age up. So kids grow so fast, right?
I know. I know. Paul Walt.
Yeah. So, thoughts about what we might see. Actually, I've seen next week's episode. So I
thought you only saw the first 5.
I saw the first 6 because there's an episode that I haven't seen yet that it has to become. I'm like, wait, what about this episode that I saw it through 6? I guess. I've seen.
I don't know what to expect from the next episode because they're flying into the thick of it again. So
they are, and I'm not sure how useful. I mean, Clark. Okay, he was like the guy in the movement. Anisha can handle a gun. She was in the movement. Maybe they're kind of useful. Jamila, Jamila has like 0 skills. She's very smart.
Yeah, but Jamila's she is very smart and she's a survivor. Like, yeah. I would never count Jamila out in any situation.
Yeah. And I'm sure like Andre will show her to use a gun and she'll pick it up pretty quick. But yeah, they're headed right into. I mean,
now you know what I think is going to happen. I see the moment. Jamila's going to end up like saving Travante's ass. He's going to be like, "No, Jamila, you don't need a gun." And like one of the soldiers is going to get shot and killed. She's going to pick up the gun and shoot an alien to save Travante. And he's going to turn around and be like, "Who the?" And he's like, she'll be like, "See, I told you I could handle myself."
He's been very dismissive of her, right?
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
and I get it. He's trying to protect her. He's looking out for her because while she's capable, I was gonna say she doesn't really get it, but she's been in some really sticky situations with the aliens. So
she has, I guess, because Trevante.
I mean, she's dealt with a lot of hunter killers. So
she has, probably more than Trevante has. Really, we've seen Trevante on his journey that through the United States and in places that really didn't take him to the HKs, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's seen them, but in season 2 he had very little. Yeah. So it would be nice to see him start to value her skills a little bit more.
Find out on Friday.
Yep. So
it is right?
It's on Friday. Yeah, it comes out on Fridays. So all right, I guess that's really it on this episode.
Yeah, we just did that for an hour. We did that for almost an hour, so I think
I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Which I think is the only show we have next week. I think nothing new is coming, right? I think next week.
Yeah, still nothing new.
We only
will be talking about we got some stuff in October. I don't remember what it is, but there's stuff in October.
So we've got another short Fandom Access this week, but there are other shows on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday, I think, on SciFi Vision.
Yeah, check the Discord.
So check it out, and we'll see some of you guys in some of those places, in some of those rooms. Yeah,
let's put it this way. If you aren't on the Discord, you're never going to keep track of everything because the last 3 Discords I saw from Jamie was, hey, we're on. No, we're postponing. Hey, I'm running late.
She posts there's a schedule thread, and Jamie posts the schedule of what the weekly schedule is of the shows. So you can go in there and see the schedule, which I have to look at routinely for shows that I'm the worst. I had to text Jamie.
Even the shows you're doing, you got to look.
Even the shows I'm doing.
It's funny. It's funny. The week after Institute ended, I was all like, oh shit, I got to the podcast. And I went, wait, no, I don't. The show's over.
Yep. Show's over. So, all right. Well, I guess that's it.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. Good to see y'all.
Good night, everyone.
I'll see some of you tomorrow for Alien. All right.
Talk to you next week, peoples. Goodbye.
Bye.